Well, if you were one of those McKinney North fans that were thinking about going to the game on Friday night or listening to it on the radio and thought, nah, I'll just skip this one, boy, did you miss out on the game of the year. McKinney North head coach Mike Fecci joining me. And Coach Fecci, I can already tell just by looking at you that you were the winner and Wylie East was the loser. It was an overtime game. You came back and won. Just an exceptional game. And you're telling me beforehand you haven't really been a part of this type of game as a head coach before.
No, absolutely not. You know, to be down 11 points in the fourth quarter and to come back and to keep fighting, keep scrapping, you know, and then to go up and then have them score on you and be down by 3 with 29 seconds to go and your playoff life is on the line and your kids go out and they execute and they tie it and then you go out and you execute in overtime and you win it. What a testament to our kids, what a testament to our coaching staff. You know, all those guys did a phenomenal job Friday, especially, you know, when we got into that crunch time. There was never any panic anywhere. There was never any worry. It was just resiliency and steadfast focus and belief. And it came down to belief. And our kids believed, and we went out and got it done, and I'm real proud of them.
We have a lot of highlights to get to, so we'll go ahead and see those right now. Starting in the first quarter, you got off to a great start. 21 points scored by your team in the first quarter. And this was the big quarter about big plays. You have the 70 and 85-yard touchdown runs to start off this game from Ronald Jones.
Yeah, Ronald came out of the gate in a hurry. You know, they played us just like we thought they would as far as putting people down in the box. You see all those guys in there to stop the run, and we knew if we could pop one early, we could get them out of that, and then they would, you know, and then there'd be nobody else there. And there's an example of that. Ronald pops it. Great job up front. Great job by Trey Smith, blocking for him right there, and so he pops that one. And it was a great start to the ball game. We come back the second drive. We put a little package in where Ronald actually moves over to the quarterback spot so we can add an extra blocker with Dootsy and then go back the other way, and then Ronald does his thing here again. So, yeah, we jump out to a quick early lead, and then Wylie settled in, and they started playing the run much better, and then the war was on.
East hits a touchdown on a 63-yard touchdown pass. Cut it to 14-6. It was later 21-6 when Ben Dootsy on this drive. He'll end up scoring a 1-yard touchdown run, but he sets it up, throwing the ball well, 9 of 20 in this game, 165 yards passing, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions.
Yeah, he had a great game. Trey Sanders had a great game. I mean, all the receivers, Kervin Parks, and you know, and here's Trey Sanders on a big third down conversion. You know, a big strong kid getting a first down for us, and you know, all the receivers did a great job on Friday night of catching the football and blocking especially.
Wylie East had a big second quarter, scored a couple more touchdowns, but they miss all of their first 3 extra point attempts. And those 3 points, you want to remember those for you listening at home because they come up to be a big factor in this game. In the second quarter, you get a nice run from Trey Smith there. He was a big factor in this game because of the amount of attention Ronald Jones is gathering.
You know, Trey is such a multifaceted athlete where we're able to put him in the backfield and get him carries. We're able to put him at receiver like right here, and that's a big, giant catch on a third down. You know, he took a really big shot on that same route right before that highlight where he had to come off the field with the wind knocked out of him. And for him to go back in there and make that catch in traffic like that shows the guts that kid has. And he's had a really good season for us up to this point.
Now, in the second quarter, Wylie East really stiffened things up on the defensive end. They started to slow you down a little bit. What were they doing in particular that was effective?
Well, they just started playing. You know, Wylie East is a good football team, and they got good coaches over there also, and they found a way to kind of control the box in there and get after Ronald pretty good. You know, and then we were able to come back. It was a game of adjustments. You know, we went in with a plan. They had success. They adjusted. Then we had to adjust, and it was just a back and forth battle of coaching adjustments, and you know, I was real proud, like I say, of our offensive coaches with what they came up with.
Gary McCain, he's a baseball commit to go to college next year. He's threw for 306 yards in this game, but only 1 touchdown. You really kept the receivers in front of your defenders.
Yeah, that was the plan. You know, we knew we had to keep them in front of us a lot, and like right here, this is a big fourth down. Anthony Grogan, great job covering that guy. You know, we knew we were going to force them to drive the length of the field on us, and there was times they did. But at the same time, we weren't going to let them big play us to death, and other than the one they had early, we did play that pretty well.
Wylie East ended up scoring 26 unanswered points in this game to take an early 32-21 lead in the fourth quarter. Coach, your offense had been pretty much shut out, you know, the entire second and third quarter. No points there. Moved the ball a little bit, but you get a big play in the fourth quarter that's going to help set up your first points in a long time?
Sure. No, in the fourth quarter we really came out and did some good things. This was another big catch by Trey Smith to set up. I think this next play may be the one you're referring to, where we've got some trick plays in our bag that Coach Harden's put in, and we rep them all the time. And here's one here. Trey Smith, he can catch it, he can run it, and here you see he can throw it. Great throw to Trey Sanders, and him having to adjust like that causes him to turn and get caught right there. But great throw and catch. Ronald scores here in a minute, and gets us back into it. Defense started really playing well, getting the ball back. We played really good defense in the fourth quarter, especially made stops when we needed to make them. It's a great play action by Ronald Jones and Ducey, and a pump fake to go up top to Kervin Parks for a touchdown to get us back in this thing. We came and made plays, and we had to make them, and I was real proud of our kids for that.
Had a 2-point conversion to Jomar Davis as well in that series of touchdowns. You lead 36-32. Wylie East comes back on a 16-play drive that takes about 4.5 minutes, and they converted a couple of huge downs. This is a good defensive play on a 4th and 1, but McCain reaches over the line for the first down.
Huge play. We had him there for a loss. You can see my hands on my head right there. I realized we just about to win it. They get a first down, then we come in and we strip the ball out, and the ball's on the ground, and it's in our hands, and then back into their hands. So back-to-back plays, we see victory, but we can't snatch it. And then McCain makes a big throw in this drive to get him to the 1-yard line. They punch it in with 29 seconds to go. They kick off to us. Tyler Fowles has a big kickoff return back across the 50. Our offense methodically drove down, got us in field goal range for Raul. Raul makes it with 4 seconds to go. We go out in overtime, and we win the toss in overtime and like to go defense first like you do. And Nick Hutchins gets a big interception for us. And then we went out on first down when it was our turn. Ronald Jones popped a 13-yard run up the middle. We ran one more safe play, tried to get the ball back in the middle of the field, and then went out there on second down and kicked the field goal for the win. So all in all, it's a great, great team victory. Like I said before, so proud of my kids. So proud of the resiliency they showed and the confidence they showed and the belief they showed. We preach that stuff all the time to them, and to see it actually play out live was an awesome thing.
You have to win in every phase of the game for these types of close games, and certainly special teams came up big for you. You had great kickoff returns all night long, and then your kicker, Raul De La Rosa, misses a field goal before the half from 39 yards, comes back at the end of the game, hits that 44-yard field goal, and then the 30-yard field goal to win it in overtime. It's often overlooked in high school football, especially when you watch the pro kickers kicking these easy 50-yard field goals.
Right.
Not every high school has a kicker, as was shown. Wylie East struggled kicking the ball from extra points. You have a kicker that can make those clutch field goals when you need it.
Yeah, and he showed that. I mean, I'm very, very proud of Raul. Raul's a great story. Raul's a kid that as a junior was a kicker on the JV. And, came into the season and it just works. He works his tail off at practice. The one that he missed actually got blocked. The kid came off the edge, the Wyatt kid, the safety, came off the edge and blocked it right before the half. But then he stepped back out and nails the 44-yarder right down the middle. And then steps up in clutch time and makes it one in overtime. And that's what you want seniors to do, is step up when they need to step up, and he sure did.
You mentioned earlier how your team was very calm, even with 29 seconds left, and Wylie East converted on a dramatic 3rd and 20 for a first down, and then punched it into the end zone. And then you came back with that kickoff return into Wylie East territory. Still had some work to do. Ben Ducey, a nice run to help set up this field goal to tie the game.
Right. It's a situation where, what was really nice about Friday night for me and for us as coaches was there's so many things you work on when no one's watching in off season. You work on adversity. We work on adversity every day. In some shape or fashion, through all of off season, we're talking about adversity. How do you overcome adversity? Well, and that's a life lesson we're trying to teach them here, but it does play out. And number one way you overcome adversity is, number one, you got to recognize you're in an adverse situation. Then number two, you have to stay calm and think clearly so you can make sound, good decisions, and then go out and execute those decisions. And that's exactly what played out for us. That game was won on Friday night, sure, but that game was won back in December and back in January and back in February when no one was watching and we were in off season and they were, having a bad day, and we take them out to the sand pit and they're out and they're rolling in the sand, and we're giving them adversity and seeing, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? What are you going to think clearly? Are you going to overcome it? Or are you just going to panic and worry about what's actually happening to you in the very moment? And I'm very proud of our kids. I'm very proud of our kids, and I'm very proud of our coaches that they stayed calm, they stayed the course, and they went out and did what they needed to do to get the win.
If we had an extra hour or two, we could bring out the whiteboard and discuss all the different scenarios about District 13 4A,
Right.
where you can place, how you can make the playoffs. It basically comes down to this for your team. If you beat Denison this Friday, you not only clinch a playoff spot, you likely clinch at least a share of the district title. Mm-hmm. You can also get in with two other scenarios. If Lovejoy loses to Wylie East, that also puts you in. And if Wylie beats Roy City only one district win on the year, that also confirms that you're in the playoffs. So it's looking good at the moment, but you go out against a 5-1 Denison team this Friday, and they're a team that runs the ball exceptionally well. They have 3 or 4 different guys that can run for over 100 yards in a game.
They do. They're smash mouth football is what they are. They run the ball right downhill at you, and they say, here we are, stop us. Good football team. Great story as well. You know, Denison started off the year real rocky. The world was coming to an end up there about week 3, and all of a sudden they flip around and they beat Wylie East, open up district by a point, and then got on a roll from there. Beat Sherman, beat Wylie, lost to Lovejoy, and then of course beat Roy City and Greenville. And so they're going into week 10. They're in the playoffs. They're playing for an outright district title. It's senior night for them. It's the last game in historic Munson Stadium that'll ever be played, because we've been told they're going to tear it down and build a new one in the offseason. So we anticipate, I told our kids today and our coaches, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not 12 to 13,000 people at this thing. Because of all those things. You're going to get people that are going to want to see a great football game, hopefully. You're going to get some that are going to come for senior night. You're going to get a whole bunch of Denison faithful that want to come out and see the last game in that historic stadium be played. So it's going to be a great atmosphere. It's a different atmosphere. They definitely have home field advantage there. They put their student section on your sideline. Their band is on your sideline. It's some things that are different for our kids, but it's going to be fun. We got a lot to play for, so do they. And we're going to have to be ready. We're going to have a good week this week.
Well, can't wait to have the result of that game, Coach, and a chance for McKinney North to clinch a share of the district title.
Right.
Good luck to you on Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Big road game against Denison. Denison 5-1 the district. McKinney North 4-2. They're also now checking back at my records real quick. 5-4, just to make sure on the overall record. A chance to finish the season with a winning record, both overall, district play, and also clinch a postseason playoff berth.